I love having baked oats in the morning. It's like eating dessert for breakfast. One of my most requested recipes is to make baked oats without protein powder because you guys love my baked oats recipes, but I know not all of you love protein powder. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amanda, aka Fit Food AE, and today we're going to be making 5 high protein, low calorie baked oats recipes that contain no protein powder. These all have 30 to 33 grams of protein and between 400 to 460 calories. So let's get started, shall we? If you know my videos, you know that we start off with my favorite. So this time it's the s'mores baked oats. So all these recipes have oat flour, which is basically just oats that I grinded up in a blender. No need to buy oat flour separately. Just save your money and blend up the quick oats you probably already have. So yeah, basically I mix these together with some graham cracker crumbs, which I actually bought pre-crushed, which is ironic, and non-fat Greek yogurt, egg, sweetener, and egg whites. The sweetener is very important. If you don't put the sweetener, then it's not going to be sweet enough because you're not adding protein powder. So that's why we're adding like 30 grams of sweetener in each of these. So for the s'mores baked oats, we're putting mini chocolate chips, marshmallows, and some more graham cracker crumbs because that's what makes s'mores baked oats. I've made how many times am I going to say s'mores baked oats? I've made this recipe before, just not without protein powder. So this is my first time making baked oats recipes without protein powder. And to be honest, it wasn't that difficult. I knew that once I made the first one, they were all going to turn out because they all use kind of like a similar formula, but of course change up certain things to make them different flavors. So I thought that I would maybe have to put the marshmallows on later because they would burn, but they're honestly totally fine to put on top. When you're doing the bake time, I'm going to put the bake time on the screen. It varies slightly between them, but honestly, it's around the same. Make sure not to overbake the baked oats, otherwise they're going to be dry. That is super important. These turned out so moist and delicious. Oh my god, I just used my spoon, go in the middle, and wow, so like moist and I keep saying that word, but these are really, really good. They're my favorite. I absolutely love the toppings on this. It is the definition of dessert for breakfast. Baked oats are something that like can't necessarily make if you don't have a lot of time in the morning. To save time though, you could mix up the wet ingredients and put them in a container. So then that way all you have to do is take out your mini cast iron skillet, pour in the ingredients, put the toppings in and bake. But yeah, there you have it. Next recipe is a bit of a different vibe. We've got chocolate peanut butter. Now, I didn't include any powdered peanut butter in this recipe because some people comment and be like, where's that? Where do I buy it? Which, like, it's actually very common to get, but I thought I'd just change it up. We obviously have the same ingredients as the previous one and then the unsweetened cocoa powder. I also added vanilla extract in all these recipes just to up the sweetness because, again, like, if you're not adding protein powder, the recipe's not going to be as sweet. So it's super important to add that sweetener. You could also add a bit of sugar-free maple syrup if you want. Also, make sure to spray the cast iron skillet with cooking spray, otherwise it's going to stick. Super important. By the way, the link to purchase this mini cast iron skillet is in my Amazon store, and then that link is linked in the description below. So we use Reese's peanut butter cups in this recipe. I know it's tempting to just like eat them on their own before putting them into the baked oats, but try not to do that. Yeah, you can use a spoon to kind of spread out the batter there. And then I just added a bit of the mini peanut butter cups on top as well. And then after you bake them, you're going to put the peanut butter topping. So you're going to bake the baked oats for the bake time listed there. Make sure to not overbake it. How many times am I going to say bake? So make sure to not overbake it. Make sure to melt the peanut butter in the microwave. It's going to make it easier to kind of pour over it like that. And then you're good to go. These turned out so moist and delicious. And you get a pretty big portion for the calories too, which is great. They're super filling. They'll definitely keep you full past lunch. I was also debating like putting the Reese's cup just like in the middle on its own and then just like spreading it out. But I feel like it looks better if you crumble it and then the chocolate's kind of like evenly distributed. So there you have it. Absolutely delicious. For our third recipe, we've got Biscoff baked oats. I've made Biscoff baked oats before. I made regular version, vegan version, and now we have a protein powder free version. So we're gonna add these crushed Biscoff cookies to the batter. I actually made them like bigger crush as opposed to like crumbs because I just kind of just wanted that texture. So you're gonna mix that all up, kind of similar to the rest of the recipes. And then we're gonna take that mini cast iron skillet and add the batter. So this time we're gonna add half of the batter, and then you're gonna put some Biscoff spread in the middle and then add the rest of the batter on top. I don't have any spread, I just have this squeegee bottle, so I just did that. And then you're gonna try and make sure that the Biscoff's covered, and then when you use a spoon to go into it, there's gonna be a bunch of Biscoff coming out. It's gonna be delicious. So just put a little bit of it on top. The bottle makes this a bit easier, and then I decided to sprinkle some Biscoff crumbs on top as well. Now you might be asking, Amanda, why are there bubbles on the top? I honestly don't know. When it came out like that, I was like, it's a bit weird, but this honestly tastes delicious, super moist. It was probably my second favorite recipe in this video. So honestly, the bubbles don't really affect the taste. Not really sure what it is, but yeah, maybe just cover them with the Biscoff crumbs and you're good to go if you're worried about presentation. I don't know if I'm feeling this braid. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, it looks a bit uggo, but sometimes I just look like a disaster when I'm filming and I'm like, hey, now I gotta take the shot and be eating it, and whatever, people don't care what I look like. They just care what the recipe tastes like. This is our fourth recipe, chocolate chunk baked oats. This was actually the first recipe I made. I usually don't put them in the order that I make them. I put them in like my favorite to, I don't want to say least favorite because I love all these recipes, but I always put my favorite first. So for this one, yes, again, kind of similar ingredients to the chocolate peanut butter, except it's going to be salted chocolate chunk. You'll see at the end, I put some salt on top because I love that sweet and salty combo. So I actually use like a crushed up milk chocolate bar, and I just put that in the middle because I couldn't find actual chunks, which is what I usually use. But yeah, make sure to spray with cooking spray, pour the batter in, and then you might want to add a bit more of the chunks on top. That's kind of what I did. I put half of them in the batter and half of them on top just so the chocolate is like evenly distributed. I want you guys to comment below if you've gotten this far and tell me what your favorite recipe out of the 5 is. I feel like some people are like, comment below and put a flamingo emoji or like whatever. And I'm like, what's the benefit in that? I would rather you guys tell me which one you like the best or if you ended up trying the recipes. So I'm not really sure why I did this, but I put like the chocolate chunks kind of in the middle, and I was like, oh, I'll just like spread the chocolate around, but I should have just put it all over. But anyway, that's what I did. For this one, guys, because it was the first one I made, I did accidentally overbake it a little bit, like by a couple minutes, and baked oats are kind of finicky like that. If you put them in for like 1 extra minute, they're going to be a bit too dry. I wouldn't say these were dry, but they're just a bit more cakey than I'd like them. I prefer my baked oats to be more on the underbaked side, where some people are like, oh, that's raw. So it just depends. I would say if you prefer more cakey, then put it on the higher bake time side than what I put, but it's best to put less because you could always bake for more time, but you can't bake for less time. I feel like milk chocolate makes these taste the best, but whatever chocolate you have, you could totally use. And yeah, go ahead and enjoy this. Last recipe are cinnamon roll baked oats. So these probably take the most effort because they have like cinnamon filling and then also frosting. So we're going to use brown monk fruit for this recipe. By the way, I started using, well, not started, I've been using for a while, but Swerve. I used to use Lakanto, but I used to be an affiliate with them and they would send me free stuff, and then they stopped their affiliate program. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going to buy Swerve because Lakanto is harder for me to get because I'm in Canada. So anyway, any 0-calorie sweetener will do. There's a lot of them on the market. Make sure to mix it very well. You should probably mix the dry ingredients first before the wet, but I totally forgot to do that here. And yeah, basically you're gonna make the filling separately. So like unsweetened applesauce, cinnamon, and then more of the brown monk fruit. So you're gonna mix that together. And then what you're gonna do is pour the batter onto the greased mini cast iron skillet. And then you're gonna add the filling in like little globs. And then basically after you add the filling in little globs, you're going to use a butter knife and kind of like spread it throughout to make this like little cinnamon swirl. I don't really know if I'm doing it properly, but that's just how I do. Then once you do all that, you're gonna pop it in the oven, and then while it's in the oven, you can make the frosting. I was a bit lazy with the frosting. I should have probably used an electric mixer. That's usually the best thing to do with cream cheese frosting, but I didn't want to pull it out, and I figured a lot of you don't have it. So I used 0-calorie powdered sugar. I warmed up the like cream cheese in my microwave so it'd be easier to mix. And I added a little bit of unsweetened almond milk. Make sure to like not add too much, like just add maybe like a teaspoon and then go from there. You can always add more of the 0-calorie powdered sugar if it's too runny. And then yeah, just spread the cream cheese frosting on and you're good to go. This looks like a little cinnamon roll. I mean, I feel like I could have been a bit better with the frosting. I was a bit lazy again, but that's okay. It still tastes the same. So if you're in a calorie deficit and you want to go to Cinnabon, just say no and make these cinnamon roll baked oats instead. No, I'm kidding. Nothing can replace Cinnabon, but I feel like This is a good substitution for now. So gooey and moist. I feel like I baked it for the perfect amount of time. But again, if you want it to be a bit more cakey, feel free to pop it in for a bit longer. But yeah, this is really, really delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed these recipes, I'm sure you're looking for more baked oats recipes, so I'll link another video here that you should watch next. And please be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, as it really helps the channel, and I post new videos every week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.